Right, I've given myself a little bit of time to think about the game, think about the performance and the result. First of all, going into the game, a big weakness of Arteta's, which is clear for everyone to see, is his lack of adaptability. And I think it was clear today. Again, he keeps trying to compensate for players missing. Xhaka missing today. As we've seen in the Villarreal games last year, when Xhaka was missing, when Tierney was missing, he tried to shift the whole setup, shift the whole team to compensate for one player missing. Again, today, I didn't feel like we needed to change the whole system. I thought against Brighton we tried to do that. I think the best and most simple way of addressing Xhaka missing is to replace him with the best like for like replacement, which for me is El Neni, to give us some ball security and help us dominate games, which we've actually struggled recently, which is quite embarrassing to say as an Arsenal fan that we've struggled to dominate the ball at home to Crystal Palace. But he stuck. It was hard to tell whether it was a 4-3-3 or whether it was a 4-2-3-1 with Ødegaard in a pivot, but whatever it was, it didn't work, and I don't want to see Ødegaard in that position again. Um, he had a very poor game, but I don't want to blame him because that's not his position. That's not what we signed him for. I don't know why he's playing there. A lot of people say, "Oh, Man City." He's not Bernardo Silva. He's not David Silva, and Partey is most certainly not Rodri. He doesn't have the ball retention to do that. He's a player that should be playing higher up the pitch, and he can make those risky progressive passes. But when he's in defensive midfielder in the Rodri position, he's not in a position. We don't need to be turning and trying to beat the press in the way he did today. There was a simple pass onto Lokonga and he's trying to turn into the danger. I don't think he smells danger like a Busquets, like a Rodri, like a Fernandinho, and he lost the ball and gave away the goal for us. And both of our goals came from individual errors. But regardless, we did not deserve to win the game today. We were very, very poor overall. I thought the setup from the start, a lot of people were happy with it, but I didn't like it. I don't think we should be playing the way we did. The Spurs game was a perfect example of our best team, and the only player today that we couldn't play from that game was Xhaka. So I see no reason why not to start El Neni or even Lokonga in his position. And no, we tore up the team and tried to start 5 attacking players, and it didn't work. Having more attacking players on the pitch does not equate to more goals. We've seen that now, and yes, we had a few chances today where we could score, but I thought 2 goals today was actually quite generous. I didn't think we should have scored any more of that. And yeah, I thought going into the game, I wasn't confident with the way we'd set up. I still thought we had the players and we had the system to win the game. We started off well and we got our goal, but we still didn't capitalise on our dominance. We sort of just let the game pass by and expect, oh look, we're playing quite well, and then again, Crystal Palace inevitably get a foothold in the game and start putting pressure on us, and then we go into the half time 1-0 up, quite lucky to be 1-0 up. I don't think we did enough to have scored, but we did. And Saka goes off injured, obviously one of our star men, and we bring on Lokonga for Saka, which was I think in the circumstances, quite a good change. If we're not going to bring on El Neni, I still think he's not everyone's favourite player, but I still think, especially when we're winning, he's very secure on the ball and does the basics and the fundamentals very well. So he's a player I'd want next to Partey, to let Partey express himself and not worry about making these simple errors. But we went with Lokonga, so we went back to a pivot, pushed Ødegaard further up, but we just looked hopeless in attack. We really did not look like we were going to score. And ultimately, we have the players on the pitch. That comes down to coaching. And I don't know, because at the end of last season, we had very similar players playing for us, and we were scoring against teams like Palace. We weren't having trouble creating chances, but all of a sudden this season, we've just looked hopeless. We've scored 7 goals in 6 games. 7 goals in 7 games, is it? It's really, really not good enough. And it's worrying because Tierney looks toothless at the moment. He gets the ball and is never able to go forward. He has to turn back the whole time. AUBAMEYANG looked alright, but again, he doesn't offer much in link-up. When Lacazette comes on the pitch, offers so much more in that regard. But we've got the players on the pitch that we shouldn't be relying on AUBAMEYANG for link-up. He should just be on the end and finishing these chances. Yeah, so Tomiyasu, pretty average again. Ramsdale, who's been very, very good for us recently, had an excellent first half, but arguably partly to blame for the second goal. I think he was slightly out of position. If he was a little bit deeper in his own goal, I think he'd have had more chance to react to the shot. But I don't think he's directly to blame for that. I don't think Gabriel covered himself in glory for that either. He was very square on for Benteke, who was clearly going to take it on his right. And yeah, just got caught flat-footed and wasn't able to shift his body. It was painful at times. We just were getting battered from minutes 30 to minutes 70 by a Crystal Palace side without their best player. So we really do have no excuses. We can't fall back on any, oh, we didn't have enough time to prepare. We absolutely did. We had the full international break to prepare for this game tactically. Yeah, as I say, Crystal Palace didn't have their best player, and we had all bar pretty much Xhaka fit from our starting 11. But at the moment, it seems that without Xhaka, we are just a completely different team. So love him or hate him, he's important to us. Our best player today was arguably Lacazette in his 30-minute stint. He came in for Ødegaard and made a big difference. Ødegaard, again, very poor. Smith Rowe struggled to gain a foothold in the game. Again, I will go back to, I believe Saka should be starting right wing, Smith Rowe left wing. I feel that's their strongest position. That's where Smith Rowe gets the opportunity to run at defenders. When he's centrally, he's not the type of player who's going to thread passes through. He needs space to drive at defenders and isolate them. Yeah, Saka in his first 35 minutes made a few nice touches but isn't able to do anything. Pepe, more of what we've seen recently, wasn't able to affect the game. But yeah, we're just... It's more of what we've seen recently. We haven't been good all season. If you think about all season, we haven't had a performance where you think, wow, this is what we're looking forward to. We've jammed a few games against some poor teams, but really we haven't won any games we shouldn't have. And Spurs were especially poor when we played them. Yeah, it's worrying signs because we don't look... There's no clear improvements. At times last season, I was really looking forward and thinking, blimey, okay, you can see where this is going. But now Arteta has his players and the improvements that we were expecting aren't there. So at some point you think, right, who does this fall on? Because we spent the most in the summer transfer window, it falls on him. So yeah, results need to improve very soon. And yeah, we've got the Villa game on Friday, which I'll be going to. Really, really could do with a win because the last game I was at was Chelsea, which was completely miserable. Yeah, we just need to, especially at home, we really need to be rolling over teams like this. And we're something like 12th in the table. So all this top four talk can go to bed for now because we're absolutely nowhere near. We'll be lucky to be top half at this rate. And by Christmas, if results don't quickly change, then fingers will be pointed at the manager, and rightly so. So yeah, on to Friday. Absolutely must-win game, especially against our old nemesis, Emi Martinez. Big game. Let's win.